Hey, what's up, everybody?
Hey.
Welcome to the 2A Brotherhood podcast. We're having some technical issues. Hopefully, they got it all figured out. Tonight, we have on John Valentine. John, take a little bit of time and introduce yourself.
Hey guys, thanks for having me on. My name is John Valentine. I'm a combatives instructor. I am a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. I compete in USPSA. Currently, I'm sitting at A class, and I am active duty military. I've been there for nearly 2 decades, and I teach weapons and tactics as part of pre-deployment training.
All right.
Nice, nice.
Oh, Austin, are you purposely muted or is it
Yeah,
okay?
yeah.
All right,
There
sorry.
was a little background noise going on my side, so I muted myself.
Gotcha. All right. Oh, Eric fell out again. All right. Hopefully, he'll get back in. God dang, man.
So
Uh,
what's going on, man? You said you teach tactics. What's some of the stuff you get into with teaching tactics? Where are some of your core focuses on?
Um, I would say, I mean, I teach a lot. I'm certified on about 25 different courses of instruction
Heck yeah.
or points of instruction. So there's patrolling, um, mounted operations, which is like driving tactical vehicles,
Hmm.
static defense, perimeter defense, and just kind of everything revolving around like those three subjects. It's like dismounted patrols, mounted patrols, and defensive operations.
Oh heck yeah. So if someone was trying to get into tactics, right, and kind of trying to step their game up a little bit, maybe preparing for some end of world type stuff, we'll say, like what's some key focuses you think that they should be looking at in terms of getting started into the world of tactics, going from just a normal shooter, maybe they're a pretty decent shot, but they want to start stepping foot into uh, getting into more tactical ops.
The thing with tactics is that tactics is a team sport,
Hmm.
and it's an endurance sport, and a lot of it really comes down to uh, preemption and pre-positioning.
Okay.
So what I mean by that is you start thinking about like, okay, let's say you're the type of person where you're worried about raiders or home defender, or you're trying to defend your home or something to that effect.
Hmm.
Maybe even just a
mhm.
simple home invasion.
Okay.
um you what you'll do is you'll go ahead and look around your home on all sides. You'll look at, okay, here is a point of entry, here's another point of entry, I could come here, this kind of masked at night. And you start thinking about this from the standpoint of like your evil twin is out there and they have all the capabilities you do. They start thinking about it from the standpoint of like, if I were to kind of do harm to this place, knowing everything I know as far as about the capabilities and constraints, how would I attack this place? And
Hmm.
essentially, I started developing my defenses around that.
Hmm.
Um, so it's essentially like it's like you sit down and you play chess against yourself, right?
Yeah.
Hmm.
And that's kind of what tactics is. And fundamentally, I think we get really lost in the idea of procedure with tactics. I think
Hmm.
people think about tactics as like these line items of things they need to memorize, and if they just kind of conduct those things, it'll put them on a basically a winning track. And I would say that just because you're winning, it does not mean you have won. And at the end of the day, it's still about preparing for a fight. It is still about dealing with external resistance. And the thing about that is the opposition gets a say, and you can do everything right and still get smoked because when it comes to conflict, it's there's a degree of randomness that you just can't really account for.
Hmm.
You can stack the odds in your favor, but it's still a fucking a coin flip at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go back to the home defense stuff, right?
Sure.
So I have, in my example, I have a wife, I have a child, and I actually have another child that's about to be due. Where should I focus into preparing my home for home defense if, say, someone was to break into my house, or even getting my wife ready for if someone was to break into our house? Where should my main focus be for an intruder?
Making friend with your neighbors. That's the first place I'd start. Make friends with my neighbors, and just kind of like don't make it weird, don't like spring it on them the first time you like have them at barbecue. Like, hey, you think we can like kind of augment each other and combine some kind of mutual assistance group? And it's like, that I mean that shit'll be fucking weird. And it's like,
Hey, you want to be a gun buddy with me?
right? Yeah. So yeah, make friends with your neighbors so that way you have people around who care about you that are willing to kind of at least keep an eye out, or they hear something, they're like, hey man, there's something going on in Austin's house. Let me go see what's going on. If there's some loud, some loud noises or whatnot. So that's the one thing. It's that again, tactics is a team sport, and in your neighborhood, your neighbors are your teammates. So yeah, I would start there. Then I would think about as far as how can I essentially deter these people from the farthest distance possible? What could I do as far as like setting up cameras, motion sensor lights, anything I can do as far as keeping the person like kind of at the perimeter, keeping them away from wanting to like come closer to the doors. With every attack, every single conflict, okay, it doesn't matter what it is you're talking about at the individual level, all the way up to full scale warfare. Every type of point of conflict always starts with the reconnaissance first. They want to go ahead and get information about the terrain and the area of attack. They start thinking about like, what are the avenues of approach? Where could I go to? What are my weak points? How can I draw this in? So everything as far as like, you want to stop them from trying to gather information as far as like at the doorway. So, and with that, you start reinforcing your entryways with cameras, lights, and everything like that. Motion sensor lights is something that I think is really underrated. The other thing is to start thinking about fortifying all the points of entry. So this is like your windows and your doors, and I would prioritize the doors because typically like people they want to get in and they don't want to give themselves away. They're exercising noise and light discipline just the same way you would if you would do that. So so they so I would fortify the doors. So there's like things like flip lock, door armor, stuff like that, where you can essentially like make it really hard, where it takes like 1,000 pounds of force to basically like bust open your door. Am I on here?
Yeah, you're on there.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
He's having military issue equipment issue.
John, I don't know if you could hear it. There you go.
Yeah, there we go. I
There
don't
we
know
go.
what's going on. Let me see if I'm gonna try. Wonder if my hotspot would be the better way here.
Welcome back to the memes where you can't get the podcast working.
Just a regular day.
Yeah.
One man, one mission, one burning desire.
Well, hopefully in like a year we'll have an actual studio and we can actually invite people to come and do it. But
So, what was the last thing you heard me say?
that to like fortify your
the door.
doors.
Yeah. All right. So fortifying your doors using door armor, like a big tip that goes around is that people say, well, change the screws out in your locks. And that's great if you have kind of an extended drill where you can actually like pre-drill the holes. But a lot of times people will they'll just send it and
He did the disappearing act again.
Yeah.
Houdini over here, man.
Very black belt of him.
Yeah. That was so tactical, I didn't even see it coming.
Ah, there it is. There it is.
I'm gonna text him. So I never heard. So in the meantime, have you guys ever heard of this door armor that he's mentioning?
Yeah. I have. I'm getting some 3M shatterproof film too to put on my windows.
Yeah,
I heard
I've
about
heard of
that.
that. Yeah, I
Mhm.
never heard of door armor.
So let me pull up some door armor real quick here. Door armor, because I've seen him talk about it before on Facebook. So let's go ahead. Please tested and recommended. Okay, cool. Let's see here. door armor.
Yeah,
so
'cause I-
essentially, it's
Is that
it's
like
a,
the old school chain with the thing?
no, it's a 46. It's a 46-inch jam shield that you install on the inside of your door frame with two essentially two or four external deadbolts that are the span of like 4 inches, 4 to 6 inches. So that way, when you essentially engage those, it's like it essentially turns your front door kind of into a safe. It's a double deadbolt. You're putting extra reinforcement around your striker plates and everything like that. So it's pretty nifty. I have something similar on my gun room.
Can you share the screen?
Let me see here if I can. Let's see. Share screen. Yep, there we go. Door armor. There we go. All right. So this is what John's talking about. Is this door armor right here, right?
There we go.
So you've got your support here, your 46-inch shield.
Okay.
And then you have your additional shields here, which they install so that way it keeps doors, it make sure the door latch opens, it aligns properly, and it reinforces your hinges and stuff like that. So
That's
yeah,
cool.
it's a super nifty system. I mean, I've got something similar. So you see how it installs here? You have the 2 extra ports here and here. And it's not hard to install, and then you have the reinforced striker plates there. That helps just bring extra durability behind the door. Because like the main point of entry for break-ins in the United States is via the front door. It's not through a window. It's over. I think it's over 40% of the time it's through the front door, and they just kick it open. And like John was talking about, everyone thinks that just putting like the 3-inch screws, deck screws in there will do it. Dude, I do 5-inch. High strength screws. Like the biggest screw I can get to fit in that hole, the girthiest, for lack of a better term, is what I'm putting in there, and I'm making sure that's going all the way into my load bearing studs. And that's just how I do stuff, because I'm not paranoid. So here's an unpopular opinion, and hopefully John can get back here and kind of touch base on this. So a locked door doesn't actually keep anyone out. It is there to slow someone down enough so that we can grab your baby oil and handcuffs and get weird.
Hey, John, can you turn on your echo cancellation?
All right. Says I can't do it while we're recording.
That's dumb. That's dumb.
Okay. All right. Hey everybody, we're gonna stop the live. We're gonna come right back. Okay.